Hey everybody, it's me, just touching base. I had my first week of orientation. I'm on lunch break. I know you all are eating dinner. Probably, maybe not. So I just wanted to kind of round up the last few days. Definitely was eye-opening for me. One of the people in my orientation, there's 17 of us of all walks, doing all different things. But the lady to the right of me, and I will call her Kay. Kay is a native Alaskan American, and this week I've really just tried to dig into her life and what it was like. So Kay is a natural born Alaskan. She was born and raised in what I understand, and at this point, to be called the bush. She's beautiful. Oh my God, she's so beautiful. Her skin is, it just looks so moist and untampered, and she has 3 grown boys, and her life is so incredibly different than anything that I could probably try to explain. Sorry, I'm a little vulnerable in this because I got a lot of feedback today finally from her. So let me kind of grasp what I've learned from her this week. So she was born in a hospital that had 2 ER rooms, 1 OB room, and then a family practice room. That's how big the hospital was. They are one with the land. They live off the land. So, everybody in the family, from an elder down to an infant, has a job. Everybody comes together for everything. When it's your birthday, you celebrate by making food all day and everybody comes in. Sometimes people bring food in, but your job on that day is to prepare this meal for everyone. Her boys are currently out fishing. Now, of course, she uses so many terms that I just don't even know the definition of half the words she uses. So I didn't realize that in my questioning, I was invasive. It takes me back to when I did a mission trip to Guatemala. I was thankful that my leaders at that time knew the culture and could condition us. For instance, never take a picture of someone. In Guatemala, to them, that's capturing their soul. You didn't ask for permission. So as I was delving into 3 days worth of questioning, she finally today was transparent with me and said that we're no different than you. On so many ways, they're way different than me and how I grew up and what I know. And right from the beginning, I realized I needed to know the Alaskan history more than I do. So what I understand is, of course, we purchased Alaska from Russia. And in this act or agreement that the United States came with for the American Alaskan Indians, is that we would provide health care and that they would have ownership of corporations. So unlike the American Indians, we gave them land, and it's often said that, we gave them the worst land. I asked about her religion. She said, I serve the same God you do. At one point, I asked her if she would be interested in being on my blog. I didn't realize the volume of what I was asking her to do, and she said, when I heard you say that, she said, you were asking me to put my life under a microscope so everybody could dissect it. So much I don't know. Even with a humble heart, you forget how powerful your words are and how they can be interpreted. Needless to say, she talked about how all summer long, before October comes, when the snow comes, you have these 4 freezers. You have to fill them. One is with the moose and the caribou. One is with the fish. One is with berries they collect from the land. And then the 4th one, she said, there's no racial term applied to this, but it's with the white man's food. So it was things that they don't naturally get off the land. But she has so many different life experiences. She has such a vast understanding and grasp of family because they're so dependent upon each other. When a snowstorm comes for us, we all race to the grocery store and complain about how all the aisles are empty. They don't have grocery stores to go to. They talked about whenever you're doing this gathering of the land and stocking food, that the number one priority is feeding your elders and the respect that is due them for the life that they've lived. Knowing what her life's been like, I can only imagine what 90 years of that is. Their homes, I asked about her home. She said their homes are the same as yours. She actually just recently moved to Anchorage, the city, to help support her husband and her sons so that they can get their education. I have so much to learn. So much to learn. And she gave me feedback in regards to staying humble, which I thought I was, but there's so much more out there. She said, be present and be still. She said our elders, when all the transition between the United States and the Alaskan Native Americans transpired, their voice and their language was silenced. So she said many times you'll find your elders in a position where they're just in a downward facing position and they really don't talk, and that's because they learned not to talk. Just so amazed. I asked about, is there like a hierarchy with men and women? She said no. She said you always pay respect to your husband. She said, but we all equally work just as hard to make a living, to live. So, I'm so incredibly thankful that she cared enough to give me feedback, even though it kind of hurt. It's gonna be a transition. The lower 48 are nothing like this place up here. Their terminology is so different. How close they are with the land and God are incredibly tight. It's truly a gift to be let in. Sorry, I didn't mean to get on here and just blubber, but it's a different place. It's a different place up here. It's very beautiful. Growing up, I used to like to watch Little House on the Prairie because it was just so simple. They still have that grasp on God and what He intended for our lives. The simplicity of it. We muck it up a lot, you know, with the conveniences that we have and building tall towers. I haven't even made it to my village yet. I'm still in Anchorage for another week. So today I will finish up the traditional orientation for my group. And next week I'll start doing a lot of checkoffs, learning the radiology portion. I'll spend 2 days with radiology. I'll do labs. We'll do some quality control checkoffs. Hopefully I'll meet some more beautiful people. Beautiful people that are kind enough to answer my questions and teach me how to communicate in a way that's receptive and respectful. Whew, lots to learn. Anyway, thanks for being on my journey.